Ruth. We are so excited to have you in our studio audience. Let's get to know our panel of judges.
Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Wait, what? These are judges? Ow. Dude, that boy dug me.
You may know Jacob Smith as a child actor who starred in the 2004 film Troy and the 2003 comedy film Cheaper by the Dozen. Let's give him a warm welcome. Next we have Connor Gibbs. He is best recognized for playing the role of Aiden Lucas on the TV series Ghost Whisperer. He had his first big break at the age of 6 on an episode of the series Monk. Let's give him a warm welcome. Good to see you, Connor. Next we have Will Farrell. He is a Saturday Night alumnus. He starred in such movies as Step Brothers and Anchorman. We are very excited to have Will here with us today.
Get Will.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Next we have Peyton Manning, who has been named MVP 5 times in his career. He set an NFL record of 55 touchdowns. Let's give him a warm cheer. Thank you,
You might want to move
gentlemen.
back a seat.
You're welcome.
Tyler, you might want to move back a seat.
Let's bring in our 3 contestants. One of these poets had the poem entitled "The Negro Speaks of Rivers" published when they were still in their teens. The poem, "I've known rivers ancient as the world, and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo and sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown like the rivers." Contestant number 1, what is your name? Contestant number 2, what is your name? Contestant number 3, what is your name?
Langston Hughes.
Only one poet is the real Langston Hughes, and they are going to try to fool our panel of judges.
I, James Mercer Langston Hughes, am proud to be an American poet, novelist, playwright, and columnist. I am one of the earliest innovators of the literary art form called jazz poetry. I also spearheaded what is known as the Harlem Renaissance. In my childhood, I was a lonely soul, and my family was broke. My dad left and divorced my mom. My poor mom had to go out and look for work, so guess where I had to go? My grandmother's house to finish growing up. I was so lonely there, so I escaped in books. I could relate to the suffering and stereotypes of a broken family and being an African American. I needed to make some money, so I worked as an editor and wrote my first jazz poem. I really wanted to go to school, but my dad would only pay if I went in another country, and I had to be an engineer. I got to go to Columbia University in New York, but never finished because of racial unrest and prejudice. I don't want you to think it's all bad, because the Harlem Renaissance was a time of great music and other various forms of art for people of my color, especially around New York. I've written such great poems such as I Too Sing America and Dreams.
All right, did we designate a timekeeper? Nope. Gore is our timekeeper. All right, and our time limit is going to be
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So judges, you may skip around with the contestants, asking them questions. And
Ready?
did we give the real Langston use the?
Did you guys get your papers?
Did they get papers? Oh, little kabobble there.
Kabobble.
We will be back in 5 minutes. Please enjoy this commercial with Tide laundry soap.
Tide, my God, the best laundry cleaner in the world. Get Tide.
Got it? So 2 minutes?
Go paper.
Judges, you will have 2 minutes to ask the 3 contestants as many questions as you see fit. And we will start with you, Mr. Smith, and timekeeper.
Oh. Number 2, you look a little worried there. In your poem, I Too Sing America, what was the message or your inspiration?
Supposed to read, like, we should have
And now, please enjoy this commercial featuring Cascade dishwashing soap.
Cascade dishwashing, the best dishwasher soap around. Thank you.
Wait, we gotta do the thing where they argue in the kitchen, like. You know?
Cascade's kitchen counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah? Thank you. Do they know who the real one is?
Also, commercial actress.
All right, contestant number 2. What was your inspiration for your poem?
if your parents split up and you were raised by your grandmother.
Thank you.
You can keep going.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, your limit's not up.
Number 3, you look like Bob Marley. Could you give an example of how you were discriminated against?
Well, my parents split up, and I was raised by my grandmother.
Yep. Contestant number 3, that has nothing to do with someone being racist to you.
Is that like...
Most black people lived in Harlem during the 1920s.
Oh, alright. Number 1, you look a little scared too. What would you consider your most difficult time?
Living with my grandma.
Okay, number 1, I'm going to ask you another question. What poem are you most proud of?
What was the question again?
What poem are you most proud of, and why?
Is that my phone?
No, that's a timer.
Oh! I thought it was my cell phone. And
Do I get some more time? Because, you know, they had a little...
Connor Gibbs, we're going to go to you.
Alright, good job, bud.
Number 3. What would you consider your most difficult time?
Living with my grandmother.
Number 1. Could you give an example of how you were discriminated against?
Victim of racist because your skin was too dirty or dark to be white, and
to like to be black?
Number 2. What was the Harlem Renaissance?
No, Connor? We're still on you.
What was the Harlem Renaissance? Number 2.
Number 2. Harlem.
During the Harlem Renaissance, it was. Wait. Oh, wait. Oh, that is not. It might be good. I don't know. Sorry, it does sound. But during the Harlem Renaissance, it was a great time to express yourself in arts like music, literature, and painting as a black person.
Number 3. Where was the Harlem Renaissance located?
Number 3.
Number 3 is talking to you.
I know.
Oh.
Harlem.
It was a Harlem.
Renaissance. Where? Africa.
I don't know.
Africa.
You gotta make some stuff up.
Time's up. Timer.
And that's our time for Connor's.
Thank you, Connor Gibbs. Now we're gonna give it to funny man Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will
Who
Ferrell.
I bet has some funny questions to answer. Imposters.
You better.
You can make some things up.
Well, first I just wanted to say I didn't know pimps wore shorts.
Say what?
Good one, Will Ferrell.
I don't know what the question was. What did he say again?
You gotta ad-lib something.
Number 2. What year did you graduate college? 1920. And number 1. What was it like living with your grandmother?
Horrible.
Why?
She's old and
Do you not like old people?
yeah,
Why?
they can be grouchy and ornery.
Okay. Number 3. Could you give an example of how you were discriminated against?
Mostly black people live in Harlem during the 1920s.
Okay.
Those are Indians.
Will Ferrell, are you working on a new movie currently?
Yeah.
Can you give us a little teaser? Movie title maybe?
I'm not allowed to give out the title.
Ow!
I think it'd be a little louder.
Anchorman too.
Well, I guess I could give a little sneak peek. It's called Anchorman 2.
There's already an Anchorman too.
It's just one of his jokes. It's just one of his
It's a
jokes.
joke!
Come on now,
2.5.
Anchorman, yeah, 2.5. Anchorman 2.5.
Yeah.
Your time?
2.5.
2.7 seconds.
Anchorman returns.
Alright, Peyton Manning, it's such an honor to have you on the panel today. Thank you for coming.
Skip football practice.
Oh, you don't need practice, you're me. Who would you like to start with?
Number 2. What was it like living with your grandma?
Why? Why? Because she's an old man.
Harsh words there. Harsh words of wisdom.
3. How were you able to go to college? How were you able to go to college?
He was like, what? What? Number 3, how were you afford to go to college? Where'd you get the money?
No, I actually used her credit card.
She's probably living on the streets now.
Number one, what year did you graduate college?
What number was that for?
Number one.
Number 1.
1920.
Number 3. What was your most proud of?
I don't know, there's so many of them.
Number 2. What is your favorite NFL team?
And time.
Can I just ask a question to all three? Okay, I know Lansing Hughes is known for his metaphors. Can you tell me one of them?
No, it's not allowed to be.
Why not?
Because it's secret.
It's naughty.
It's secret.
All right. It is time to vote.
I get
last question.
little discussion
San
here.
Francisco.
Stop the tape.
Yes.